crafty friends, this is Jenny with CraftTestimonies.com, and today I'm here today with the NUVO Glimmer Pastes. Now this is a product from Tonic Studios, and it really is kind of like a texture paste gel that is filled with glimmer. So first let's start off with just the basics. This product is 1.6 fluid ounces. It has a nice clear cap. When you first get them home, there is actually a white cap so you can't see the color. But once you get it home and you take it off, you'll be able to see through the lid. I actually smeared a little bit in the cap just so that I could really see it when it's in my drawer. But it has a nice low odor paint. It has almost no odor to it at all. And it is nice and thick. So you can probably see just how thick it is. If I hold the palette knife up and down, it is not coming off. It's super thick and super sparkly. So what I want to tell you first off is that there are two basic kinds to this line. Okay. I like to think of these colors as being in two different categories. The one category is the ones that have a tinted base and then a plain color to them. So for example, these ones here, including the red, a green, a gold, a black, a blue, a silver, and a purple, all have a tinted base with that same color glitter inside. So it's just a nice, very saturated glitter color. Then you have these ones over here, and what they have are actually like iridescent colors to them. So for example, this pink actually has some green and gold sparkles. The blue has green and pink. The light color, which is, this is called Peridot, has green and gold. This lilac, or actually it's a tanzanite lavender, it has blue and green sparkles. And the white, which is called Moonstone, actually has pink and green and gold in it too. So it really does have an iridescent quality. So let me show you how they look on samples, because that'll help illustrate it for you. You can see the plain colors, which would include the black, gold, green, red, blue, purple, and silver. Again, they're just nice and straight up colors. And then the iridescent ones include the pink, this light blue, purple, and green, and moonstone or white. So I also want to point out that they are very flexible. I was really pleasantly surprised with how thick I can smear these on, and they don't go anywhere. They don't crack, they don't flake, and I'm going to be so impressed to show you that I can rub my hand all the way over the top of them and not one glitter flake comes off. Now, if you think that these look good on white paper, wait till you see how they look on black paper. Okay, friends, this is kind of the proof in the pudding, because I feel like if a product looks good on black paper, it really is spectacular. So once again, you have the straight colors of the red, green, gold, black, silver, and purple. They have a beautiful shimmer and shine to them on the black paper, and they have incredible coverage. They're very opaque if you spread them on thickly enough. Now, here's where we have our iridescence. These almost change color on the black surface. So let's start off with the green. The green just absolutely glows. You've got that tealish topaz blue, and you can see where it's thinner, it actually, you can see all of those kind of pink and gold flakes in it. Here's the actual pink color. Again, you can really see the green. Here's the purple, which has just all of the colors. And Moonstone, which is considered white, just absolutely sparkles with all of those colors. So I think that's really amazing. So this stuff is very thick, and if you work it carefully with your palette knife, you can actually get a nice, kind of a thin, even coat. You definitely feel the glitter in there, but you can kind of all spread it down on one direction. And then you can let this dry. and basically make your own glitter paper. So now let me show you another few samples. So remember how I took that red and I smeared it out nice and thin? This has been drying for several days, and once again, no cracking. The paper still remains very pliable and flexible, and it looks like the glimmer paper that you buy at the store. I can rub my hand all the way on it and not one flake of glitter comes off, even when I scratch it with my fingernail. So that is amazing staying power to me. Now, here's the other cool thing. I took out a little bit and I'm wondering, can I still cut this with scissors? Well, yeah, I cut it with scissors right here. You can also put it through your die cut machine. And I like to point out that this was a thin rule die, a little skinny die, and yet I still got a beautiful cut. So now I can make my own glitter paper all the time, which is a win. So I just wanted to show you that you can actually stencil with the Glimmer Paste. It's nice and thick, it goes through the stencil openings, and it actually has enough viscosity to hold the shape. It turns out beautifully. Okay, let me flip through a few more samples so you can see what I'm talking about. Now I did use a Tim Holtz stencil here, and I did some layering. So you can see that you can layer your colors on top of each other. First I put down the black and then the blue on top, and you see how it changes the colors and you get that cool like iridescent action. So they blend pretty well and they mix pretty well, so you can have fun doing that. And if you really want to get fun with color changing, what I did is I put some of the Moonstone, the white color, in a little pot, and I added some Adirondack wash sprays. So I mixed that together, and that's how I got this purple iridescent. Just remember to use a translucent color so that it doesn't, like acrylic paint would not work, but any of your mists or sprays, you can now tint this. Now just for fun, I wanted to point out that you can do this on watercolor paper. This is the Moonstone on watercolor, and I just want to do a little demonstration to show you what happens when you take a product like Distress and you add it on top. I had a couple of people who wanted to know in my Periscope how that would work, and the answer is it works really well. You can distress right over the top of it, and then it acts like a resist. So that's kind of a fun thing you can do. Of course, you can also add mists or sprays over the top, and it will act like a resist. And also somebody asked, well, what happens if you use the stencil on top of Distress? So here you can see I actually put down the Distress color first and then put the product down on top, and it shows through, so you kind of get tinted little glimmer dots. And then here by contrast is what happens when you use the Distress on top of it. So in this one here in the middle, I use some kind of watercolor mist or sprays, and if you do lightly, you'll get a resist. If you make it more heavy, it will actually kind of dye the Glimmer Paste as well. But there are just so many options of how you can play with this product. Here was another pleasant surprise. I decided to try it on a canvas tote bag. And as you can see, yeah, looks fantastic. I used those iridescent colors, the jewel colors here, and it did not really change the hand of the fabric. Of course, it's going to be a little chunky because of the glitter, but it is nice and soft. It's not really plasticky at all. I would not necessarily use it for a wearable, but for a thing like a tote bag or a banner, it's spectacular. All right, I hope you enjoyed this review and video demonstration. If you have any questions, just leave me one in the comments section below. I would love it if you would give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Have a crafty day.